and alive, terms that define the culture of Miami and terms that the Hurricanes hope to find their program. When the bus is rocking, the Canes are ready to come knocking for an ACC game against Virginia, a game in which Jacory Harris was knocked out a year ago. Tonight, seeking redemption against Virginia. The two head coaches, longtime friend and colleagues, Al Golden in his first year at Miami, Mike London in his second year leading the Cavaliers. Both are locked in the race in the ACC Coastal, and the Canes and Cavs getting set to go nose to nose. Tonight, in Miami Gardens, Florida, the lights turned on at Sun Life Stadium for this college football primetime showdown in the ACC. Virginia getting set to take on Miami. The ties are out in force. Al Golden has really changed the fashion statement for both the students and for Sebastian the Ibis. And hopefully for both teams, at the end of the night, they hope to be in the ACC Coastal race. Identical 4-3 records, but only 2 losses in conference play. Virginia Tech is leading the way. Glad to have you with us Thursday night in the ACC. Reese Davis, Craig James, Jesse Palmer. Jen Brown's going to join us in just a little bit. It was this matchup a year ago that really turned the season for Miami. Mike London of Virginia got his first ACC win. Jacory Harris was not completely out of the game, sent his season into a downward spiral. Ultimately, Al Golden replaces Randy Shannon as head coach. But Harris seems like a different man this year, Jesse.
This Miami football team has really made major strides this season, but no individual is more improved this year than senior quarterback Jacory Harris. Jacory Harris has really had an up-and-down career here at Miami. He's always been very talented, but his career has been marred by poor decision-making. In fact, last year he threw more interceptions than touchdown passes. This year, he's taking much better care of the football. He's checking it down to his running backs or throwing the football away when the big play is not presenting itself. Jacory Harris understands this season that it's okay to punt the football away, and while he still has tremendous talent surrounding him at wide receiver and at running back, Jacory Harris is not trying to make the big play by himself each and every snap, and as a result, he's playing the best football of his career this month in October, where he's thrown 8 touchdown passes versus only 1 interception, Craig. Miami needs Jacory Harris to have a big game tonight if they're going to win.
I think we all agree that Al Golden has had a calming influence on Jacory Harris and a big reason for his success so far this season. As for Virginia, to this point, they've been a 2-quarterback system. Tonight, they hand the ball over to Michael Rocco. Rocco is a guy who is capable of being good. They're hoping that since he's the named starter, that he'll have confidence, that he won't look over his shoulder. He's completed 60% of his passes, but he needs to check down and be effective. He's got to make sure that the little small throws that he makes are completions. This Virginia football team has the ability. They 2 weeks ago knocked off number 12 Georgia Tech. But for them to be successful tonight, Michael Rocco has got to be effective.
Let's go down to the field where Jen Brown is with Al Golden. Jen?
Coach, just 4 interceptions for Jacory Harris on the season. What's been the difference in him this year?
Well, he's playing with poise. He's trusting his teammates. He's distributing the football really well. I think he's got a great relationship with Jed, our offensive coordinator.
Last year's game against Virginia was an emotional loss and one that you saw your quarterback go down and be knocked out of the game. What kind of a motivation did that provide for the team tonight?
Honestly, no motivation at all. For us, we're trying to get consistent, man. We're trying to work, be the same team every day, and try to play the same way every week. I think we've had a good week. I'm excited to watch us start on offense here.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Jen.
Reese?
All right, Jen, Golden in his first season at Miami. His counterpart is Mike London in his second season at Virginia. Those two guys on the same staffs at the University of Virginia and Boston College. London won a national championship in the FCS division with Richmond in 2008. Canes are rocking and ready to go. 79 degrees. There was a threat of rain with the hurricane, but it has moved in a different direction. Of course, everyone knows the ibis is the last form of wildlife to seek shelter in a storm. Sebastian is out. Weather is perfect. And Chris Hinkabin kicks it off, and it is going to Devon Johnson of the Hurricanes. Johnson trying to pick his way, and a hat comes out of the pile. Did not belong to Johnson as he got the ball across the 25-yard line. Daquan Romero in there on the stop. Here is Jacory Harris. Harris completing over 62% of his passes, 12 touchdowns to 4 interceptions.
I think the number that stands out for Miami coaching staff is 4. Last week, 4 different times, Jacory Harris threw the ball out of bounds. In the past, he would have thrown those balls perhaps downfield, which were not good things, and turned into interceptions.
Lamar Miller and Mike James in the backfield behind Harris. Jacory will throw it and get his first completion of the night. Travis Benjamin, who only had a couple of touches against Georgia Tech, a good pickup on first down. It'll be second and short. How about the impact players when the Canes have it?
You just saw wide receiver Travis Benjamin. He needs to get his touches. When he's on the field, he's the fastest player playing. He only had 2 catches last week in a win against Georgia Tech. That's not enough. He needs to be more involved.
Well, involved in the first half, Lamar Miller. They usually don't go to him early. He's very productive in the second half. This guy can run the football.
And Chase Minifield, the cornerback for Virginia, has 12 career interceptions, 3 of them against Miami. We'll see if he can shut down some of the speedy Hurricane receivers. Second and 2, and Tommy Streeter, who's had a really good start to his season, flat out drops one. It'll bring up 3rd and 2.
That's something you don't see very often between these 2 players. In fact, all offseason, Jacory Harris and wide receiver Tommy Streeter worked together since January, throwing and catching with each other to develop a chemistry.
Dates back to high school. They were high school teammates. You know, touchdown Tommy usually just doesn't drop the ball. That's a bad start for him.
Streeter was part of that great class out of Miami Northwestern. He is just now starting to realize his potential. On 3rd down, the quick completion and excellent coverage by the man we mentioned earlier, Chase Minifield. His father, Frank, the all-pro former cornerback for the Browns, and Chase makes a good play, and Miami will be forced into a 3-and-out.
I think this is great coaching here. How to attack the screen on the outside. You've got to go beat the blockers to the receiver.
Chase Minifield always plays great against Miami. In 12 career interceptions, 3 of them have come against the Hurricanes. You know Chase Minifield's come to play tonight.
Getting set to punt it away is Dalton Botts. A booming kick that drives Dominic Terrell inside his 10. Little push in the back, but he did not draw a flag, and there was nowhere for Terrell to run, and Mike James to run. Kyle McCartan working on special teams, who got the call, so Michael Rocco will get it for the first time just outside his own 5-yard line. On 1st and 13. Terry Jones pushes it across the 5. It'll be second and about 10. How about the impact players when Virginia has it?
Running back Perry Jones has to be a factor on offense tonight for Virginia. He's versatile, can also run the football, but the second leading receiver on this team, catching the football out of the backfield.
Yeah, they call him Superman. How about Chris Bird? 74% of his catches go for first downs. Get him the football.
On defense, it's Sean Spence. 3 straight times he's been the ACC linebacker of the week. He missed the first game after being suspended for the offseason controversy of Miami with improper benefits, and still with 65 tackles as Rocco has a first down and a completion to Darius Jennings, and the freshman and former high school quarterback missed the ball out over the 30-yard line, and Virginia's able to capture some field position.
Unlike Virginia on the wide receiver screen, Miami's defensive backs did not get to the receiver. The bad angle allowed him to make the miss.
You see tight end Coulter Phillips and fullback Max Millen on the perimeter getting those blocks done, being physical, allowing Darius Jennings, who they feel is the fastest player on their team, room to operate.
Play action. Rocco has a completion. Chris Bird a catch, and it'll be a first down for Virginia. And the Cavaliers, Michael Rocco at quarterback, have come out very effectively in the early going.
Spinning it pretty well. You know what? You saw that ball there. Not a big arm. He's not going to throw the ball deep. But we said coming in, he's got to be effective. He's got to complete those throws.
And he has to allow the running game to help him. And on that play, the play action sucked all the linebackers up from Miami close to the line of scrimmage, and that allowed Bird to get wide open from behind.
Jones headed to the edge. This time, Miami has it cornered. Olivier Vernon making the stop. All right, Wendy Houston with the lead. Case Keenum already passed Timmy Chang for the career total offense record. Got his passing marks inside too, as Rocco has another completion. This time is to his tight end Jeremiah Mathis, and the big sophomore from Bowie, Maryland, is knocked down by JoJo Nicholas.
Jesse, you made a great point just a moment ago about this Virginia offense and the ground game and how the offensive line with their movement, they were challenged, the offensive line and the running backs, to do a good job and to step up their pace. That last play, 2 plays ago, they really did an excellent job of run fake and allowed the receivers to get open and drew those linebackers up.
They'll have to do a great job here too, Craig. Passing situation, expect a short game.
Pressure coming, a little tunnel screen, and Virginia has it loose with Darius Jennings. Jennings on his way. Touchdown Cavaliers, 53 yards, and the Cavs strike first.
There's a blitz that comes from the left side to top, and it's away, and everyone, a beautiful call, everyone out, and there's that offensive line clearing the way.
Perfect play call by offensive coordinator Bill Lazor against the pressure. We saw Texas Tech throw a couple of those tunnel screens for scores against Oklahoma last weekend against the blitz.
The extra point is true, and Virginia, after missing, by the way, dating to the last game on their last 10 third down opportunities, this time turns a third down into a 53-yard touchdown. Darius Jennings, the freshman, has the Hoos on the board. Quick drive for Virginia. They've scored first in 7 of their 8 games now. They've outscored their opposition 54-7 in the first quarter this year, and the Cavaliers on the road have a 7-0 lead. We'll see who Napoleon Dynamite's heavyweight championship belt goes to at the end of the night. Travis Benjamin, Devon Johnson back to return the kickoff for Miami, who hasn't been able to get much going offensively. It'll be Benjamin. Benjamin's electric. He can get the corner, but he cannot. Swallowed up inside his own, making the tackle.
Virginia going to sneak out the right guard, right tackle, and tight end, and allow wide receiver, the true freshman Darius Jennings, to get in behind. Look at the big right guard, Luke Bawanko, at 300 pounds, all the way downfield, hustling.
How about Michael Rocco, the quarterback? What a hot start by the young man who's been given the reins of this football team. The quick dart he threw to the receiver.
So now the Canes have fallen behind. Not good field position. Lamar Miller. Miller trying to cut it back, and Virginia has a stout rush defense. They have been, certainly were against Georgia Tech, and they played the run well tonight.
Reese, they're stout because they're so big up front. Craig, you mentioned earlier how Virginia's offensive line was challenged to play well tonight. What about Miami's offensive line? Flash of the Titans. Miami averages 319 pounds per player up front. Virginia's 275 per player. There's going to be some hitting going on tonight.
2nd and 9. Harris wants to take a shot to Streeter. Streeter's behind his man, and he's got it! And Streeter's dragged down before he could score a touchdown. Demetrius Nicholson saving the score, but Streeter has another big catch. 9 of his 21 catches on the season coming into the game with 25 yards or more. Here's another one for 57.
We told you earlier that Virginia's going to sell out here against the run, bringing pressure off the edge, the safety deep low in the box. Because of that, Tommy Streeter able to get behind coverage, working on the true freshman Demetrius Nicholson, and Harris able to hook it up.
Streeter averages over 20 yards a catch, and the arc of that ball, being able to let Streeter run under it, knowing he had a home run throw down the middle of the field. That's Jacory Harris right there showing his experience.
High school teammates with perfect communication on the previous play. This time, not so much. It'll be 2nd and 10.
And Streeter has to fight through. He knows he's going to try to get redirected here, but he fights through it and gets to the middle of the field. There's plenty of green pasture to go to.
I expect Jacory Harris to try and take shots against the true freshman Demetrius Nicholson. We had mentioned how good Chase Minifield is on the other side of the field. This Demetrius Nicholson gave up a long touchdown pass last week against NC State. That's a guy Jacory Harris is going to pick on.
Draw. Miller picks up a couple, maybe 3 if they give him a good spot. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Now, they may pick on him, but Nicholson's got a lot of talent over there. 2 interceptions on the season. I'd be careful with the picking.
That's the guy I'd pick on if I had to take my choice between the two. No doubt.
We'll see.
Right here you are, inside the 25-yard line. Trips to the right. You got Benjamin lined up in the slot. That's a guy that's versatile, can move around. Top of the screen.
Eduardo Clemens, third down back, is in there. And Harris fired it toward Menafield. Phil Dorsett was over there, the intended receiver, and Menafield talking a little bit as any confident cornerback will.
I like Virginia, though. That's a little far zone there. The nose backed out, a little different look. Threw the timing off from Jacory Harris, gave his eyes something different to look at.
Chase Minifield competing. I love the story that he sends his dad, the former Pro Bowler, videos of his one-on-ones in practice to get critiqued every night on the phone.
Jake Whiteclaw will try it from 40 yards out, and Whiteclaw, who had been 8 of 9 on the season coming in, hooks it. And the big play from Streeter, 57 yards, goes for naught. Virginia will get it back up 7-0. Kevin Parks. Parks turning the corner. Parks picking up a first down, and the freshman has been impressive in the early going.
You know, small running backs have given this Miami defense trouble in the past, and Virginia's really tiny at that position. Kevin Parks only 5'8", 195 pounds. He's hard to see behind these tall Virginia offensive linemen. The shortest offensive lineman is 6'4". It's the center, Anthony Mahota. They go 6'6", 6'7" up front. They're like trees.
Well, they're going against 6'1", 6'2", 6'4", 6'4", so those are towering trees up front. I really think this game has started off well for Virginia because of the offensive line.
Back to the ground. Clifton Richardson is checked in. Richardson's the biggest of the three backs that we'll see tonight. And the freshman, another former high school quarterback, though Clifton played a little bit of everywhere, gives the backs a little bit of size, and he gets a good pickup.
He's a guy that has to get his touches also because they need him to wear this Miami defense down. Last year they had a running back, Payne, big physical guy, played well in this game, helped beat Miami. This young true freshman's going to have to get some carries tonight.
Richardson. Nifty cut to get up into the hole, but the Hurricanes were there. Pick up of maybe 2.
Really like how Virginia has been patient so far in this game. Miami's a defense that likes to play big zones. They don't get a lot of players in behind them for deep shots. So, like you've mentioned, Craig, Michael Rocco, been patient, taking what the defense has given them. Now David Watford, the true freshman, in the game. We said we'd get a chance to watch him. Mike London putting him in here early in the first quarter.
London said it would be more plays rather than series with Watford. His first snap of the night. Quarterback draw. Watford hits it inside the 30-yard line on second down, and that'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Virginia with an explosive play from Darius Jennings, up 7-0 as we head to the second. Back in Miami Gardens, as you see the skyline of Miami, Virginia with a 7-0 lead on the Hurricanes. As we start the second quarter, the Cavaliers looking at a 3rd and 4 on their latest drive at the Miami 29-yard line. Reese Davis, Craig James, Jesse Palmer with you.
You're looking for shallow crosses here. Here's their best receiver, Chris Bird, lined up in the slot.
Or the screen.
And Rocco had a receiver fall down. It was Bird, and it'll be 4th and 4.
Now let's go back to second down, and the reason behind putting David Watford in, I suppose it's because they felt good about the rhythm of the offense. I'm totally against it. You've got rhythm going. You take Michael Rocco out of the game and put him back in when it's 3rd and 7 now.
I don't mind it as much. I think Watford gives a different dimension. You run the quarterback draw, got positive yards, puts you in a very manageable 3rd down, and then you put Rocco right back in.
It's a fake. And on the keep, it's the holder, Jacob Hodges, and Hodges gets it down inside the 10-yard line, and Mike London dials up a fake. Remember, Al Golden tried a fake earlier this year against Virginia Tech. Didn't work, and his old buddy London turns the tables on him, and Virginia picks up 20 on 4th and 4.
It was successful because they got to the line of scrimmage and snapped the football. Also watch Austin Pastor. Watch how he gets out in front. Everybody gets their job done, but the tempo and the decision, the decisiveness.
And the message it sends to your team, Mike London gambling early. He's got confidence in his team on the road.
Trying to go up 2 scores. Kevin Parks. And Parks powering the little guy. Sean Spence on the tackle. He gets down to the 5-yard line.
Now, I mentioned earlier, small running backs giving Miami's defense trouble. A few weeks ago, Giovanni Bernard, little running back out of UNC, a freshman, 5'10", had a big day against them, running and catching the football. Good thing tonight to have guys like Perry Jones and Kevin Parks in the backfield, Craig. Both guys about 5'8".
Okay, now for Miami, it's like a sudden change. They've got to get out there and they've got to make a play. And their leader is number 31, Spence. Let's see what he can do.
Jones is back in, and he is stopped right at the line of scrimmage by who else? Sean Spence.
That guy, I had a chance to watch him in his very first spring practice. He and Jacory Harris and different guys. He has a knack for the football. He was small, undersized, always has been, but has always made plays.
Looks up to John Vilma, former Miami great linebacker, similar in stature to him, wants to play physical like him each and every week.
Now, what do you expect here? 3rd and goal here. They've rolled the dice with a fake field goal. You're looking for something quick?
Got Bird up top in the slot again.
Rocco looking the other way, throwing to the back of the end zone, and he throws it over the head of Coulter Phillips. And Virginia, after getting into much better position after the fake field goal, is stopped on the 3rd and goal, and now London, unless he wants to try a second fake in one series, is going to try a 22-yard field goal with Robert Randolph.
Let's give Miami's defense a lot of credit. Sudden change situation, right back on the field, back to the goal line, and you force another field goal attempt. That's a win.
Randolph has had some adventures this year. He is 11 of 16 and now 12 of 17. And Golden's team holds Virginia to a field goal, but it's 10-0 Who's on top of the Canes. The Cavaliers have a 10-0 lead. Nearly 17 minutes of football. They've outgained the Hurricanes by more than 100 yards. Cavs get set to kick it away. Travis Benjamin. Benjamin headed for the corner. And he's pushed out of bounds just across the 30-yard line. Benjamin in motion on the reverse, and absolutely having that one smelled out is Leroy Reynolds, and he got a lot of help. Leroy Reynolds, the quickness that defensive coordinator Jim Reed told us would need to be evident. He said, if you don't notice his quickness, it's going to be a long night for our defense, and he was ready for the end around.
It's one thing to be quick. It's another thing to make sure your eyes are following your keys and seeing the play coming from the backside. If Reynolds doesn't see that, it's a big play.
Great point, Craig, because Reynolds is a converted safety who last year played out of control too often. This year, staying at home, setting up now a 2nd and 17.
Awesome 7 for Benjamin. Harris going to try to get some of it back. And Jacory will pull it down and run. Into Cavalier territory. Harris is going to have the first down. Corey Mosley on the stop, a pickup of 18 for Jacory Harris.
This is where Jacory Harris has made his biggest improvements. Pocket collapsing, keeping his vision downfield. The clock goes off in his head. You know, the MO on Jacory Harris's first 3 years was get pressure on him in his face, and he'll recklessly throw the football up for a jump ball. And this year, Jacory Harris doing a much better job of avoiding those mistakes.
Harris trying to take a shot. He's throwing it into traffic, and it's caught. Streeter using that 6'5" frame to catch it. Rodney McLeod was right in the line of the pass, had a chance to pick it off, but a 26-yard gain, Harris to Streeter.
There are only 2 receivers in this route. This is reminiscent of the Virginia Tech game when they were doing nothing offensively, and Jacory Harris threw it up with confidence to his receiver, Streeter, down the field, making the play.
He's throwing it up with confidence because he knows his big physical receivers can make these plays. Tommy Streeter, 6'5", the size at wide receiver tonight for Miami has to demonstrate itself.
Streeter at the bottom of your screen. Benjamin coming forward. Harris lost the football. He has no idea where it is. It slipped out. It's a fumble, and Jake Snyder has it. And Jacory Harris just had the ball slip out of his hand. He had no idea where the football went, and it's a turnover for the Hurricanes.
You'll see as Harris, his arm cocks and goes back, the football goes with it. He loses the football as he's cocking his arm. And this is something where, you try to coach it up and you say, do this or that. There's nothing, that's just bad luck. End of the day, bad luck.
They may look at it for a while, but clearly arm not going forward. It's a fumble, and the Cavs get a stop. Well, if you took LeBron James literally, this is where he said he was taking his talents. South Beach. It's the southernmost 23 blocks of the main barrier island that separates the Atlantic and Biscayne Bay. It is certainly a vibrant area, and so far Virginia has taken its talents to Miami Gardens. They just came up with a turnover on a Jacory Harris fumble, sort of a freak play, but the Cavaliers will take it with a 10-0 lead. Michael Rocco firing low and complete. Making the catch is Tim Smith.
This is at Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, at his best. You see right now, I formation, strong run tendency, 8 guys in the box. So here, Rocco has to be patient, knowing he's going to get a good one-on-one outside.
And finally, Virginia's receivers getting the right depth on their routes. They were really discombobulated last week, not on the same page. They've been that way tonight.
Harry Jones looking for running room, and he'll find none. Hit the backfield. Lost a few. Lost maybe 3 yards. Be 2nd and 13.
I think Michael Rocco playing much more confidently now that he knows he's the guy. And head coach Mike London had a meeting with Michael Rocco and David Watford this past week, explained to them that Michael Rocco was going to carry the shoulder of the load. And it demonstrated itself right away in Sunday's practice. All of a sudden was carrying himself differently, played much better. And tonight, guys, throwing the football with tremendous confidence.
Now a peek at Watford. We've seen him for one play on a quarterback draw. 2nd and 13. Draw to Kevin Parks, and the freshman who's had a good night and stopped short of the original line of scrimmage.
I think this is the spot here. Be smart. It's okay to punt.
On 3rd and 11, Rocco has a wide open receiver. It's Bird. Bird trying to fight his way toward first down yardage, and Bird doesn't want to punt, Craig. He wants to move the chains.
Very smart again by Michael Rocco, being patient, taking what the defense gives him, keeps his eyes downfield, does not telegraph throwing it out to the flat to Chris Bird, and then Bird just doing the rest.
You know what? Bird has 130 career receptions. He knows what to do with the football. He's number 7 on the all-time list in Virginia, nearly 1,800 yards. So that's a smart play by receiver and quarterback.
26 of the 35 catches this year, getting a first down, including that last one. Richardson headed for the edge, and this time he has it. Sean Spence sticking his face in the fan and delivering the blow. Did you think the hit by Vernon was that egregious, though? He was low. I'm not sure that the ball was thrown.
Well, Reese, I thought what I saw was with his head, he saw the ball gone, and then he accelerated into the legs. I thought it was the right call.
Okay.
We talked about this Virginia offense being physical, guys. On that last play, fullback tight end Zachary Swanson, I mean, he almost ended a defender on Miami. Put him right on the back of his helmet on a block.
Pitch. Jones wants to throw it. Perry got an arm and a receiver wide open for the touchdown is Tim Smith. And a second trick for Virginia tonight. Both of them have worked. 37 yards. Perry Jones fires the touchdown pass to the sophomore from Chesapeake.
They call Perry Jones Mr. Everything Superman. In addition to his running, he has 27 receptions. Add now some throwing ability to it.
Halloween comes early. It's trick or treat. Because this offense has had success throwing the football outside, linebackers, the safety Ray Armstrong playing downhill. And that allows Tim Smith to get wide open in the back of the end zone.
Miami has greatly improved its miscues this year. However, this drive coming after the Jacory Harris fumble, and a drive kept alive by a roughing the passer penalty and paid off by a halfback pass. Tim Smith getting the heat from Perry Jones. Well, last year in this game in Charlottesville, Virginia built a 24-0 lead before the Canes cut it to 24-19. Virginia held on to win. Devon Johnson returning the kickoff. Johnson sheds a couple of tackles, carries a Cavalier with him across the 30-yard line, and Miami will try to get some offense going here late in the first half at Sun Life Stadium. It's been all Cavaliers so far. Miami's 0 for 3 on third down. Harris firing into the middle. Streeter has it. Streeter takes a big shot, but his third big play of the night. 20 yards on the pickup. It'll be enough for a Hurricane first down.
I think wide receiver Tommy Streeter is at his best in this offense when working the middle of the field. You see the mismatch on a middle linebacker, Steve Greer, able to give him the double move. That allows him to get open over the top.
Steve Greer couldn't get his hands on him. He couldn't redirect. He couldn't knock the timing off there. That's why touchdown Tommy went in and boldly caught that ball by Rodney McLeod coming up, that fearless safety coming up and just smoking it.
And Streeter being attended to on the sideline after taking a big shot. He's got over 100 yards receiving in the first half. Streeter held on to it, but now he's being looked at. Lamar Miller gets up close to midfield to try to get some of the lost yardage on the penalty back.
Okay, so Miami's competition on the offensive line has heated up. Brandon Washington, they're trying to find room for Malcolm Bunch to play, Joel Figueroa, Chantrell Henderson. So, you know, that offensive line has got to be smart up front or put someone else in there. Brandon Washington right now, in his head, is Cam Johnson across from him, number 56.
Hey, Miami's got to get back to the short, quick passing game right now. They have to generate points here, carry some momentum into halftime.
1:44 left in the half. Hurricanes' best drive ended on a Harris fumble. Jacory dumps it out to Chase Ford, the tight end. An excellent pass receiver, strains down to about the 37-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down, to pick up a 14.
Here's why it's good to have a senior quarterback right there. Cat and mouse game pre-snap. Virginia showing a blitz, but walked right out of it, rolled a coverage right at the snap, and that was the third or fourth option for Jacory Harris.
I like how Jacory Harris is keeping his eyes downfield, even with the pocket collapsing around him, able to find open receivers on the run.
Harris taking a shot. Hearns out there. Did he stay in bounds? He did not. Demetrius Nicholson was on the coverage.
Offensive coordinator Jed Fish loves dialing up double moves, particularly on the outside. We saw Tommy Streeter with a big double move earlier on this drive. Here Hearns, the best route runner on the Hurricanes receiving corps, getting behind the true freshman Nicholson, ball a little bit underthrown, and that's why that play was broken up.
Now the fans are wanting a pass interference call. So 2nd and 15. Harris trying to get it all. Got a man out there. Ball is caught by Benjamin. What a tremendous grab by the senior. It'll be 1st and goal for the Canes.
The time the offensive line allowed for this play to happen. Watch the move, the double move on the outside and then out to the up. Benjamin, very fast receiver. That's a blown coverage by Virginia.
Special teams has really helped out Travis Benjamin become a better wide receiver. He's been a punt returner his entire career. It looked like he was fielding a punt over the awkward shoulder on that catch.
I mean, that was a tough catch, and it might be one that gives Miami a little life. Inside a minute to go. 1st and goal. Harris firing to the end zone. Streeter up top. Touchdown Canes. Well, Streeter has nearly half a foot on Menafield over there, and he used that big frame to light a fire for the Canes at 17-6. Jake Wyclaw on to attempt the extra point, and the U injecting a little life late as we check in with Jen Brown, who has Al Golden.
Coach, able to get some points on the board there at the end. What's the biggest thing you stress offensively here at the half?
Just keep our poise. You know, we've beat ourselves with some penalties, had a couple of turnovers, and then certainly down there missing a field goal in the red zone. So we just got to keep our poise and just relax. It's a long game.
Defensively, what changes would you like to see?
Well, we got to tackle a little bit better. They're hitting us with some alley runs, so we got to make sure we're fitting it right. And again, we've been beating ourselves with penalties, turnovers, and some mental errors. We just got to have some poise here and relax.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Reese?
All right, Jen, 17-7. Virginia has the lead. Mike London pulled a couple of things out of the bag of trickeration, including a halfback pass from Perry Jones to Tim Smith. Canes came flying up. Jones threw it over their head. Let's join Lou Holtz, Mark May, and Wendy Nix for the Walmart halftime report. Virginia, very productive first half. Cavaliers built a 17-0 lead. Hurricanes scored just before the end of the first half, and that's where we are as we start the third quarter. Reese Davis, Greg James, Jesse Palmer, Jen Brown working the field, and Virginia's going to get the ball first, Greg. What's important for the Cavaliers to try to maintain a little momentum?
Well, they got to keep running the football. Virginia's offensive line in the first half gave Michael Rocco, the quarterback, a chance to be effective and efficient, 7 of 12. So I think this is a deal where Virginia's offensive line has got to help their quarterback again.
I think Miami, conversely, has to play smarter. Self-inflicted wounds have really hurt them here in this first half. A late hit on the quarterback keeps the Virginia drive alive after a third down. They later score. They missed a field goal. The ball slips out of Jacory Harris's hands in the red zone. Get out of their own way, and they got a chance.
Second half is underway. And on the return is Khalid Shepard. Shepard breaks across the 35-yard line, and he just tripped up. A good return to start the second half. Perry Jones, the first carry, and he's got a lot of running room. First down and a lot more. Jones turning the corner. Deep into Miami territory. He's never knocked off his feet, but finally knocked out of bounds by JoJo Nicholas, and the Cavaliers in business.
Well, this is, again, getting the running back to the alley. Look at Luke Bawanko, the right guard, pulled to get up in there, and there's no one even for him to hit. The safety's not even up there.
Misdirection plays have been killing this Miami defense all night for Virginia's offense. And what about the wide receivers competing on the perimeter? Chris Bird doing a great job blocking outside.
Clifton Richardson is in, and Richardson lowering his head and rumbling inside the 15, and 2 plays. 2 first downs, it looks like, for the Cavaliers, and just like that, they're in the red zone.
Same play, but to the other side. The left guard pulled that time, Austin Pastor, and just crushes them inside.
We asked the question before the half, could they be consistent? Could they handle success, come out early in the second half, and run the football? And they're doing it right now.
Richardson. This time, Clifton, a short gain. It'll be second and about 8, depending on the spot.
Virginia can be very physical up front in the offensive line. They outrushed Georgia Tech 2 weeks ago in their win, running for 274 yards in that game, because they can beat you up at the point of attack. And you see Mike London getting his guys riled up, instilling that confidence.
Think back in the season now, Miami gave up to Kansas State on the ground 261 yards. So they're vulnerable against the run.
Game playing out very similarly to the game against K-State. The rally in the second half so far has been the Cavaliers. Rocco with a quick completion. Bird has it, and Bird is knocked down short of the first down. Jordan Futch making the tackle. It's going to be third down and about 2 on this opening drive of the second half. This is a big play for the Hurricane defense right now to try to hold them to a field goal.
I think Virginia's ability to run the football is allowing Bill Lazor, the offensive coordinator, so much more flexibility in his play calling. All different types of play action, try and get playmakers the ball in open space. Based on this drive, Craig, I'm not so sure here you're in 4-down territory. You just try to run it twice.
Absolutely, Jesse. I like that call there. Go big, run the football.
Kevin Parks is in at running back. Instead, they'll throw it. Rocco to the end zone. He caught it. Did he stay in bounds? He did not. Ruled out of bounds after making the catch is Ray Keys.
I think that shows you right now, though, the confidence that offensive coordinator Bill Lazor has in his quarterback. Play action, and this is just a tap, just missed.
That's the perfect throw by Michael Rocco, putting it where only Keys can make the catch. Just couldn't time it out, so he got his left foot down in time.
Now Robert Randolph's had a little time to stand out there, look at those goalposts for a while, and get himself lined up. This is from 24 yards out. Thought about it for a while and no problem. So the opening drive in the second half results in a field goal, and Virginia pushes its lead to 13. Jacory Harris has been able to go long a couple of times tonight, but Virginia has scored on 4 of its last 5 possessions, and now Harris finds himself and his team down by 13 as Michael Rocco has gone every play except one at quarterback for the Cavaliers tonight. Travis Benjamin to return the kickoff. Benjamin has great speed. Benjamin headed to the boundary. And one man that could get him was Anthony Harris, and he did, but Miami is set up with beautiful field position after the 54-yard return.
Cannot deny the speed of Travis Benjamin. He's been returning kicks and punts his whole career here at Miami, making the opposition pay. If you don't keep him contained and let him get outside, he will hurt you.
And I think big plays will be the theme for the second half for Jacory Harris. They figured out that touchdown Tommy Streeter on the outside, and his height advantage is providing them the spark that they need to get back into this game. Go do it again.
Jacory Harris trying to do his thing, buying a little time, wants to take a shot, throws it into double coverage, but Streeter's got a chance at it. Touchdown, Miami! And just like that, the Hurricanes are back in it. It's 20-13.
Big, tall, and physical wide receivers sometimes can break all the rules for a quarterback. That football had absolutely no business being thrown into double coverage, but Jacory Harris trusts his 6'5" target to go up and high point the football.
The extra point is good, so we have not reached the end of the third quarter yet. Just under a half minute to go. It's been a period completely dominated by Virginia. They missed a field goal, didn't cash in a red zone trip to a touchdown. 5 plays, 80 yards, touchdown to Streeter, who's having a career night.
Look at Jacory Harris's footwork in the pocket. Watch how he buys time. He moves around, keeps his head down the field, feels the pressure from where it's coming, buys the time for Streeter. Now, Streeter's a guy, we've seen him several times in this game, Jesse, get behind the secondary.
Jacory Harris had time, though, Craig, because linebacker Leroy Reynolds on the blitz lost his outside position, tried to dip inside, and that allowed Jacory Harris to slide to his left. Jacory Harris had a wide-open Travis Benjamin running the deep comeback route, but I love the confidence in the guy he's been throwing to every day since after their bowl game last year. They have a chemistry, they trust each other, and they are making plays tonight.
Yeah, Streeter's got 163 yards receiving, and the Hurricanes have a second half rally going. Darius Jennings muffs the kickoff. Sometimes that results in a great alley to run through. This was not one of those times, as he is stopped short of the 15. Momentum on the Hurricane side. Another mark for Case Keenum. Going to hold a bunch of records before he leaves. They're going to get the passing yardage record too, as Perry Jones on first down picks up about 6 up to the 20-yard line.
Very important, the defensive line make plays here to keep Virginia. If they can get them to a 3 and out, it's a big-time win because of that long drive. They just had to stay on the field for.
All of the pressure back on Michael Rocco and this Virginia offense right now. You just heard the crowd noise. There's life back in Sun Life Stadium right now, thanks to Tommy Streeter.
That was Jalen Grimble, who was hobbling around, defensive lineman for Miami. Rocco, his lead has been cut to 6. Fourth quarter coming for Miami. The U alive as we start the fourth quarter. Michael Irvin approving of the touchdown pass to Tommy Streeter, and the Hurricanes have found a little energy, a boost of adrenaline on their sideline as they bounce around to start the fourth quarter. Virginia's seen its lead cut to 20-14. They are looking at a 2nd and 4. just across their own 20-yard line. A defense of Miami that has been leaned on for much of the second half. See if they have any energy and gas. Kevin Parks maybe gets a couple. It'll be 3rd and short, and a big 3rd down indeed coming for the Cavaliers.
In our conversations with Al Golden this week, he said he's trying to convince the players that you got to remember what went into making the U. It was 3rd down plays like this right here. The great athletes like Michael Irvin, Warren Sapp, they made 3rd down stops to get it back to their offense.
Craig, I think for Virginia, a consistent passing game is the next step if they're going to compete for ACC championships. You have to be able to throw the football when the defense expects you to throw it. They're going to have to make plays throwing the football right now.
3rd and 2. Rocco wide open, and on his way is Perry Jones. Nobody's going to catch him, and another 3rd down strike for the Cavaliers results in a touchdown. 78 yards. Rocco to Jones. That'll put some people from the U in their seats.
Wow, it's a quick hitting play here, and it's a good job of Rocco seaming that football just between the corner and the linebacker.
The second time tonight, offensive coordinator Bill Lazor dialed up a perfect pass play against pressure from the Miami Hurricanes. Perry Jones on what we used to call the quick post coming out of the backfield.
The chagrin on the face of Michael Irvin and his friends. That 78-yard pass play, the longest pass play of the year, and up by 12 right now. Mike London is going to try to put that number on 14 with a 2-point conversion try. Rocco has time. Rocco firing, and he's got it. It's Tim Smith, and the Cavaliers answer the bell.
Again, Rocco with the composure in that pocket and the focus down the field, and that tired defensive line at Miami. I like the call. You know what? Mike London knew he had a tired defense on the field, and he took advantage of it.
Last year, this game gave Mike London his first ACC win. Could give him a win to turn the corner if they can hang on tonight. Virginia has gone long. This is a team that had only 7 completions all season long of 30 or more yards. They have 3 touchdown passes tonight of longer than 37. 37-yarder, 53 and 78. One of them from Perry Jones, who threw the 37-yard touchdown pass. Jones just caught the 78-yarder and has 65 yards on the ground. Miami's down 2 touchdowns. Here comes Travis Benjamin. Benjamin hits it across the 40 up to the 41. Jacory Harris led his team down the field in less than 2.5 minutes last time he had it. And trying to do it in one play this time. Benjamin's out there, but he overshot him. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Jen Brown's working the sideline. Jen, what do you got?
Reese, I can tell you that Jacory Harris, before going out on the field, had been receiving a lot of attention by the medical staff. Now, they came over, they told me that he is fine, but I can honestly say he did not look okay. He looked a little spacey, definitely just kind of out of it. So he said he's okay. He told coach he's okay. He's obviously in, but just something that we should keep an eye on.
All right, Jen, that we will as Harris tries to rally his team. Good solid night statistically, 14 of 21. Hasn't thrown an interception. Here goes Lamar Miller. Miller tries to cut it back to the inside. It'll be 3rd and long 2.
That's not a good way for Lamar Miller to finish that run. That's not his style. He's got to run through that. That's a 1st down that he was given. He did not get it because he tried to cut back.
Lamar Miller self-admittedly cuts too often, he told us, particularly in the backfield before he hits the line of scrimmage. A guy that this coaching staff would like to see just get more north-south. Attitude time now for this offense. Can you line up with 2 yards to go and run the football, go get it?
Miller not going to get there. It's going to be 4th down and 1. Got to run it again, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Can't give it back to him right now.
Midfield.
Yeah.
On the other side of midfield. You know, and I think you run the football. I think you send a message to your team. I don't think you try to get fancy, bootleg, get on the perimeter. Al Golden's done such a great job this year making statements, going for it on 4th down, trying to fake field goals against Virginia Tech early to instill confidence. Greg, I think he's got to dial it up a run here.
Yeah, I think you run the ball, but the offensive line, they have not been great against Virginia's defensive line tonight.
4th and 1, better hurry, play clock, they get it off. They are going to throw it instead, and Harris completes it to Hearns, and it's a 1st down. The drive stays alive.
Well, Miami said coming into this game that Virginia would stuff the box and dare them to throw the football. They lost coverage because they were so focused on what we thought would happen, that would be the run.
Craig, generally, Miami expected to have issues in the quick passing game today because Virginia's defensive line always does a good job getting their hands up to bat balls down. Did not do that on that last critical play.
They bailed out Lamar Miller's run on that 2nd down is what they did.
Still plenty of time at the Canes. Down 2 touchdowns. Virginia looking for a stop. Harris wanted to take a shot. Streeter was well covered that time. This time Jacory's just going to throw it out of bounds. Bill shouts, applying a little heat.
Jacory Harris has really taken ownership of this offense this year under first-year offensive coordinator Jedd Fisch. The coaching staff trusts Jacory Harris because he studies hard. In fact, they allow him to call his own pass plays during games. And you've seen now a lot in this game recently. He's been audibling, but Craig, he's audibling way too often to deep passes.
You can't do that. You've got to be methodical going down. You can't always dial up the home run ball.
Mike James on 2nd and 10 gets 1 if he gets a good spot. It's going to be 3rd and long. Nick Jenkins, Jake Snyder in there to stop him.
Yeah, but this is where Jedd Fisch really has to call a play getting part of this required yardage so that he can go for it on 4th down.
And one of the things you were talking about, Jacory Harris checking to deep passes. Jedd Fisch was talking yesterday about how in many ways Virginia sort of entices you to take those shots and leaves you in 2nd and long sometimes.
They force you to be greedy because the safeties play so close to the line of scrimmage. You think you have one-on-ones outside. If you don't connect, though, you put yourself off schedule 2nd, 3rd, and long.
On 3rd and 9. Harris getting heat from behind. Harris has a wide open Hearns. Hearns couldn't stay in bounds, but he got enough to pick up the 1st down, and that is huge with Miami drive, although maybe a flag down on the field at about the 27. Golden signaling it's on Virginia.
Holding number 23 of the defense. The penalties decline. The result of the play is accepted. 1st down.
Well, Miami and Jedd Fisch are dialing up the home run balls. Watch all 3 receivers, and it's the verticals. They're trying to hit the Virginia secondary. 3 receivers going deep, 1 that stops underneath, and it's good coverage that time deep, but a better job of the receiver coming back.
Greg, I'd argue that's another throw Jacory Harris missed. He had Tommy Streeter one-on-one with a safety in the end zone. No different than his previous touchdown pass.
Direct snap to Travis Benjamin. And Benjamin is hit in the backfield. Dom Joseph, who was just called for the hold, makes the play in the backfield.
Miami has struggled running the football in tonight's game. Defensive coordinator Jim Reed really stressed to his defense this offseason better run fits, tackling in space. He showed them a tape all spring long, a cut-up of 68 runs from a year ago where they got gashed for long runs. And his defense has really responded, taking ownership of playing better run defense this year.
They have a lot of confidence coming out of that Georgia Tech game when they held them to a season-low 296 yards, an offense that was one of the most dynamic in the country. That's how you build confidence.
2nd and 12. Harris fires, complete. It's Streeter again. Streeter's inside the 10-yard line, and he should have the 1st down. 1st and goal for the Hurricanes.
What a seesaw battle this game has been here in the 2nd half. Virginia gets the opening possession, drives down the field, kicks a field goal. Miami then responds later on a long touchdown. Virginia comes right back with a quick score to the running back. And here's Miami again on the heels of a career night by wide receiver Tommy Streeter.
Yeah, it needs to become now, if you get the single coverage at the top, you throw the ball up. Otherwise, Lamar Miller running that thing.
Chase Minifield giving a lot of respect, big cushion.
Also giving away a lot of height. Harris, touchdown! Hearns has it, and the Hurricanes close to within 1 score. With that completion, Harris goes over 300 yards on the night. He's thrown for 3 touchdowns. And with the extra point, Miami will be within 7. Jake Whiteclaw. That ACC wheel of destiny is spinning. Al Golden wears the tie in tribute to Joe Paterno. Virginia has shown no fear, but Miami has shown great resolve. It's 28-21. Ball is muffed. That's Khalid Shepard, and Shepard been better off to let that thing go through the end zone. Virginia has horrible field position inside its own 10.
Well, it's time now for play calling to come up for Virginia. They have got to run the ball. They've got to eat this clock, and Bill Lazor's got to somehow get them into second and rhythm, the same rhythm that they've been doing the rest of the game.
And freshman Kevin Parks, who's had a very good night, gets it out to the 12-yard line, a pickup of 4 on first down.
That right there, that 4. Stay in rhythm with the chains.
I want to see how resilient this Miami team is right now. Al Golden telling us how resilient they are. They were able to overcome what happened off the field surrounding Devin Shapiro, generate some wins. Heartbreaking loss a few weeks ago at Virginia Tech. They bounced back to beat UNC. Can they be resilient enough here in the 4th quarter?
Back to the ground. Parks takes a big hit, protecting the football well. Gets it to the 15. Denzel Perryman, the freshman that Miami coaches likened to Sean Spence, making the hit.
He is a young Spence, and look at the speed of which Perryman comes across. That's called filling that alley. When we went to halftime, they were talking about having to stop the alley run. That's how you get over there.
Jordan Futch, the outside linebacker, stuck his blocker up and forced the play to come back inside, allowing that speed and to make the tackle.
Cavaliers 6 of 13 on 3rd down tonight. Rocco thought about running it, did, but decided to too late, and he'll be stopped short of the first down. 3 and out for the Cavaliers as we're inside 8 minutes to go.
I'll tell you what happened with Miami scoring. It pumped oxygen into the legs of that Miami defense.
That is the first 3 and out by Virginia's offense tonight. And barring a booming punt, the Hurricanes are going to get great field position. Jimmy Howell standing at his 2. A low returnable kick. Benjamin opts to go for the fair catch. Takes it at the 46-yard line. An excellent field position for Jacory Harris and the Hurricanes. Down 7, just over 7 minutes to go. Sun Life Stadium, Jacory Harris trying to get the Hurricanes even with the Cavaliers. We'll check down to Lamar Miller. Miller stopped for a very short gain, making the tackle as Aaron Telefero.
Be very careful right about now in this game if I was this Virginia defense. Miami offensive coordinator Jed Fish loves to dial up trick plays. We've seen Virginia have success earlier in this game, but Jed Fish has not dialed one up yet tonight.
I don't know
a lot of guys
though.
Attacking right now on defense for Virginia.
You've got momentum. Don't outthink yourself.
Nothing tricky about Miller's run. He slams it inside the 45. It'll be 3rd and short. It'll be 3rd and 1.
You know what, Jed Fish, he says he teaches his players that knowledge is power, and understanding the down and the distance in the game up front. And Lamar Miller told us his favorite play is 16 power. That's with the guard pulling, going up in the hole. We'll see if they go to it.
We'll need a tight end or a fullback in the backfield to get it, Greg.
16 power right there.
He got stopped
Too
short.
tight ISO.
Not enough power. It'll be 4th down for Al Golden's team. Converted on the last drive on 4th down. Have Allen Hearns, who just caught the touchdown pass, who's slow to get up.
I like this. Bring in big bodies, bringing in the fullback Maurice Hagans.
Well, the last time they went to this deal here, there was the play-action pass by Jacory Harris for the first down that Virginia had sold out to stop the run.
And Hearns, who just left the game, caught that pass. 4th and 1, big play for Virginia's defense.
You know, interesting, they just brought their best run-blocking tight end, Dyron Dye, out of the game.
Play action on 4th down, fired. Very similar play to the one that converted last time. And Clive Walford, the freshman, makes his first catch of the night.
They had a certain package they wanted to use with Walford in this football game. Against Virginia Tech, he made several nice catches.
Nice late substitution by Miami, not giving away the play call. When the pass-catching tight end comes on the field, you expect pass, but because the substitution was so late, Virginia could not anticipate it.
Back to the run with Miller. Miller finding room. Still on his feet inside the 30 and inside the 25-yard line.
Craig, one thing I've loved watching Lamar Miller, his feet are always active. He's able to make quick cuts, change on a dime. Great change of direction because look at his feet chopping all over the place.
I love the counter. It allowed Harlan Gunn, a solid player who's physical and can run, to get up in there to lead traffic interference for him. But you're right about the footwork. He's got to stay more north and run through the arm tackles. That's what I said to him leaving our meeting yesterday. I said, hey, Lamar, keep running through those arm tackles.
17-yard run, the longest of the night. Plenty of time for Harris. He'll dump it underneath. James caught it, and he was wrapped up immediately by Reynolds. Held on long enough until help arrived. His short gain. It'll be 2nd down and about 8.
Jacory Harris has been trained to check the football down this year. Offensive coordinator Jed Fish early this season showed Jacory Harris highlight tapes of running backs catching 5-yard passes and turning them into big games. We've seen Jacory make some big throws, checking it down tonight.
Virginia's defensive line sure has slowed down here in this 4th quarter. They've had their hands on their hips.
On 2nd down, Miller. Miller pushing down into the red zone now, the 16-yard line. He'll be a couple yards short of the 1st down as we go inside 3.5 minutes to play. Virginia with a 7-point lead. Hurricanes on the move. Mike London trying to will his defense to come up with another stop.
Well, the balance sure gives Jed Fish a lot of options to go with now that they are running the football.
Bump and run opportunity at the top of the screen. Tommy Hearns, 6'5", fade or back shoulder possibility.
Blitz coming. They run it. Mike James gets inside the 15, and where the officials are coming across, I don't think he's going to have the 1st down. Matt Conrath on the stop, and it'll bring up another 4th down. We've seen Miami throw for it a couple of times. Do you dare throw this deep?
I like, you know what, Jacory Harris has been the hot guy for Miami. The other guy, touchdown Tommy Streeter.
And they got to go for this because they still have 3 timeouts. If you don't get it, you can still burn timeouts to get one more possession back late and try and tie.
Mike James, the bigger back in the tail of the tandem. It is James. He's hit the backfield and stopped. Leroy Reynolds came smoking through from his linebacker position, and the Canes are stopped on 4th down.
Leroy Reynolds has made several big plays here tonight. A guy that's a converted safety, playing well with his eyes. 400-pound bench press, showing you the strength here against Mike James.
He beat Chase Ford. The tight end has got to seal the inside and not allow that to happen. Ford couldn't get there. Reynolds did.
Mike London, the father of 7 and father of an entire team right now, expressing some appreciation to his defense as they rise up and get a huge stop on 4th and 1 against the Hurricanes. Miami with all 3 timeouts. Perry Jones bouncing to the outside. Jones getting across the 20-yard line. A good solid pickup on 1st down. The Hurricanes use their 1st timeout.
This is a situation in football that every offense practices each and every week. It's called 4-minute offense. When you have the lead late in the game and you're trying to keep possession to ice the win.
They need the force a 3 and out. It would be just the second time tonight for a 3 and out if they can get it. And they're not going to. Kevin Parks, a freshman, a first down across the 30-yard line. And now we're inside 2 minutes. Only 2 timeouts to go. And Al Golden deciding whether to use that second one now, and he does.
And I tell you what, Anthony Mahota, that time, he's the center. Snaps the football, he pulls. Between the 2 guards in the center in this football game, Virginia's offensive line has given the running back.
Craig, I think the tight ends have done a great job also on the outside, sealing the edge for these running backs to get outside. That's really where they've had their most success tonight, running the football. Those tight ends have done a great job.
Virginia has over 200 yards rushing tonight. A flag comes down on the field.
Mike London was here earlier in one of his earlier stints when they had Matt Schaub at quarterback, DeBrickashaw Ferguson at tackle. He's seen that system work. It helps in recruiting. When kids know that if they want to play in the NFL, they can come here and play in this pro-style offense. I love the fact that Virginia's got Bill Lazor here calling the plays.
And Mike London said that is part of the Virginia heritage. The quarterbacks you mentioned, they also had a lot of great tight ends. And of course, after the penalty call, clock is winding. Miami declined the penalty. Obviously the down more important than the yardage right now. 2nd and 8. Rocco will milk every bit of this play clock. Harry Jones got to stay in bounds, and he does. It'll be 3rd down, and Miami will use its final timeout with 1:21 remaining.
All Miami needs to do is get the ball back in the hands of Jacory Harris. If their offense has the ball with his receivers and Tommy Streeter and his size and the ability we've seen in this game to get beyond the secondary, they've got a chance. You know, it's been a good game. Miami's defense got tired, and they somehow found a way to hang in there.
Well, Miami hasn't had a great rush defense this season. They had hoped it would improve with everyone back from suspension. 3rd down, keep it on the ground as expected, and there's the tackle. No more timeouts for Miami, so once they wind the play clock, and they have 40-second clock at the end of the last play, and as Jesse said, it's going to be right in the neighborhood of a half minute to go, a little bit more than that. Miami gets the ball back. Travis Benjamin is a dangerous punt return man. He only has 1 punt return for a touchdown in his career. It came last year against Ohio State, but nearly broke a kickoff earlier tonight.
And that's the danger right now if you're Virginia, because if you're anticipating punt block from Miami right now, you need to keep bodies in to protect.
Jimmy Howells had one blocked this year, and he almost got another one blocked. Ball is bouncing around, and the clock is running as Miami couldn't field it. They're going to let it run as long as the officials will let it, and the officials blow it dead with 25 seconds left. So Jacory Harris will have 65 yards to cover in 25 seconds. No timeouts to work with. The Hurricanes will try to draw even and force overtime.
Jim Reed, the defensive coordinator at Virginia, has to be shouting to his front 4 right now on the defensive line. Pin the ears back. Give him everything you got.
Here's what they don't want to have happen, Jesse. They don't want to run past Jacory Harris, let him move the pocket by time that allows Streeter and these receivers to get beyond the secondary.
Harris has thrown for more than 300 yards tonight. Needs 65 more in the next 20 seconds. And Jacory gonna run. And he heads and gets out of bounds wisely. 17 seconds remaining. Now, if nothing else, while there's time, Harris has enough arm strength to get the ball to the end zone. And you don't have to do it right now, but they at least will have 1 shot at the end zone, assuming they handle the clock right in the last 17 seconds.
I like the idea of throwing the ball in the middle of the field. Get something down the middle of the football field. A completion stops the chains. Go up and clock the football. Then you can throw it to the end zone.
You cannot take a sack if you're Jacory Harris. It is ball game if you take a sack right now.
Harris almost hit as he throws to the end zone. Streeter's there. Streeter had his hands on it, and he couldn't hold it. 9 seconds to go.
The other danger of these slow developing deep plays is they take a lot of time. If they try that one more time right now, that may be the final play of the game.
You look at the strategy of the defensive line. They stayed back that time, right? That allowed the ball to have time to get down the field. That ball went off of Streeter's shoulder pads.
And look at who's there. The two guys who were double covering Streeter on the long touchdown pass when the ball should have been intercepted earlier, Demetrius Nicholson and Corey Mosley. And now Jacory Harris coming to the sideline, his passing arm, he's unable to raise it, it appears, and Stephen Morris, who had his red shirt burned last year against Virginia and tried to lead the comeback, will have a chance with 9 seconds to go. What a tough spot for the sophomore who started the season opener against Maryland. 9 seconds to go. Morris firing. Benjamin's got to get out of bounds, and he does.
Great.
4 seconds left.
Great decision, because two things happen there. Your quarterback's been standing there. Morris hasn't thrown a football, so he throws a shorter ball. Now he's got it in him to throw the ball down the field.
Welcome to the game, Stephen Morris, as if that's not a tough enough situation. Hey, just come in the game real quick. 2 plays left. Go ahead and throw us a completion. Give us a chance to win the game. Do you mind?
This is likely to be the final play. Morris going to have to go to the end zone. Streeter, the 6'5" targets at the top of your screen. He's number 8.
It's a big substitution.
Now he's coming back this way to the trip side.
Big bodies in the back here defending the end line, the goal line for Virginia.
Hail Mary formation to the right here.
Pressure coming. Morris running away from it. Now Stevens got to stay behind line of scrimmage. Scrambling around. Can't take the sack. Clock is expired. Got a man right in the middle of the field. It's Clemens. Can he get to the end zone? He cannot. And the ball game is over. Virginia wins it 28-21. Eduardo Clemens made the catch, but couldn't find his way to the end zone, and Al Golden's team with its 4th loss by 8 points or fewer this season. What a win on the road for the Cavaliers.
Virginia's defense had one mission: defend the goal line. And this was one of those plays to where you had to go well beyond the 4 seconds left on the game clock. Stephen Morris did a heck of a job of giving himself a chance.
See how number 91 got up the field on defense for Virginia, forced Stephen Morris to cut back to his left. That's what Wisconsin did not do a good job of against Kirk Cousins this past weekend when Michigan State won their game on a Hail Mary on the final play.
I think they wanted to throw, though, the Hail Mary to the right side to Streeter, and they got flushed out of there.
That's it. Well, smart play by the defensive end.
Really good job.
And Mike London is with Jen Brown.
Coach, obviously a lot of excitement there. What did you just say to your team?
I just told them that, we had a great Georgia Tech win, had a letdown, people jumped off the bandwagon, but all that matters is the people that believe in this team, faith, family, and football. Those are the things, and to come back and win like that, when the defense played us in the first half, offense played better the second half and picked the defense up, so it's a great win, road victory against a really good team.
Let's talk about that 4th and 1 stop by your defense. You talked about them playing well in the first half, but that was a pretty big stop right there. How do you think they did there?
It was unbelievable. Our defense has been playing much better all year long. Those type of plays are the plays that give players confidence, and you're always in a game. So just a great win for the program. Thank you, Lord. I tell you what, it's just outstanding.
Now you talk about giving players confidence. Michael Rocco, you gave him the majority of the snaps tonight. How do you feel about that decision?
Well, the whole plan was to develop 2 quarterbacks to be able to play. And so, hopefully it puts us to bed about, hey, this or that. Young David Wofford's going to be a good quarterback, but Michael Rocco was the quarterback, our starting quarterback today. He did what he had to do in order for us to win this game.
All right, thanks, Coach. Big win.
All right, thank you. Tremendous. Thank you. Appreciate it.
But tonight is a night for celebration. A road win against the Hurricanes. Virginia beats Miami 28-21. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For Craig James, Jesse Palmer, Jen Brown, and our whole crew, I'm Reese Davis saying good night from Miami. SportsCenter is next.